Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started with our Village of Forest Park regular council meeting. This is our Monday, August 24, 2026 meeting. We begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you are able, please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Rogovan,
Here.
Commissioner Vogt,
Here.
Mayor Hoskins.
Okay, we need to approve the minutes from the August 10th regular meeting of the council. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Maxham. Is there a second? Okay, it's been seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion. Okay, there is no discussion on the minutes. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Rogovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. All right, we're at public comment. Do we have any public comments tonight?
We do. We have 2 public comments and 1 write-in.
Okay.
So I'll do the write-in first. Dear Commissioners and Mayor Hoskins, Forest Park should be a welcoming community to all its residents, visitors, and workers, particularly those who are being directly impacted by ICE. Please take 2 immediate steps to build trust and ensure our public safety. Designate ICE-free zones in our municipal buildings and update Forest Park's 2017 welcoming resolution to reflect language in the Illinois Trust Act. Thank you, Elizabeth Gold. Next is Betty.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Appreciate the time again to be here with you. My name's Betty Alzamora. I'm on the 200 block of Elgin Avenue. I'll keep it brief this evening. I wanted to first and foremost express my appreciation for commissioners and the mayor for making time with community members to meet and discuss some of the concerns that we raised related to the ICE incident on July 30th. I think candidly, it has touched a nerve in our community, and it just means so much to have your willingness to meet and have these conversations, important conversations with community. So I'm thankful and I'm grateful, and I know there's some scheduling things we have to work out, but we'll get it done. I do want to share that we had started a petition last week and rolled it out on Thursday morning. And my intent was really to come here today and be able to let you know you have community that is really interested in the 2 points that we raised as potential immediate actions. And I thought that, we'd get 50 signatures. As of this afternoon, we have 150, and that number will continue to grow. I think what's important is that as community starts coming out and engaging with the issue, we'll continue to have these conversations. I hope to be able to see if I can work with you to organize some forum, some sort of town hall that we can have even more of a conversation and bring in other people that can help moderate and facilitate as part of a panel. This is something obviously that's very close to my heart. Becoming a welcoming village was something that was important to us in 2017. And now being able to demonstrate how we can restore trust in this village for so many people will be essential. I want to call out that we have the migrant ministry that now resides in Forest Park. Used to be based in Oak Park. They are now, they have established themselves at St. Bernardine's, where they open their doors once a week. And it's been I've been exchanging notes with volunteers. We have volunteers from all over the community that are part of the migrant ministry, that look after some of the folks that come in seeking assistance there. This conversation that we've been starting with you is one that I've also started with the Park District, and I raised her last week. The migrant ministry in particular is only 2 blocks down the street from the Park District. So I think with that, what I want to share is that this isn't something just about Village Hall and what the Village Council can do. This needs to be a community-wide conversation. And so we're grateful that you're willing to open your doors for that conversation and to see if we can make some forward progress. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Betty. Commissioner Alzamora.
Next is Amy.
Good evening. I'm Amy Bins-Calvi. I live on 1119 Circle. My husband and I have lived in Forest Park for over 32 years. We love living in Forest Park, primarily because of the accessibility to elected officials and the ability to have conversations with everybody. So I also want to thank those of you who have, agreed to meet with concerned citizens about what happened on July 30th at Village Hall. And I'm hoping that, the officials that maybe didn't want to meet will reconsider, because I think conversations lead to better understanding on both sides. I also want to state that all of my interactions with the Forest Park police officers have always been very professional, and I've always felt that they've been working on behalf of my safety, and I cannot say the same for ICE agents. Some of my relatives, this is just a personal story, some of my relatives who live out of state, they always say to me, "Aren't you afraid to be in Chicago?" And I can say honestly, the only time I've ever had a weapon pointed at me was by an ICE agent. And I guarantee you I was obeying the law. So as we have seen, ICE agents can be undertrained, undisciplined. There's been obviously situations where they have, been involved with violence. And I don't feel safe around ICE agents. I don't think that they're trained well enough. I don't think that I feel like they're quite often go rogue. So as the village moves forward after this incident, I hope that my safety and the safety of everybody living in Forest Park, regardless of who they are, will be a priority over undisciplined, poorly trained ICE agents. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, commissioners, that concludes public comment. There are no formal communications before the village council this evening. We received reports from the police department, community center, and fire department. Commissioners, if you want to comment or react to any of those reports, now is the time to do so. Commissioner Vogt.
I just want to thank the departments who provided us reports for doing so. And we usually, one of us will comment when we see reports like these to remind the community to take a look at them. They have a lot of information, and you can really get a good glimpse into what is going on in our departments here in Village Hall. And I just want to point everyone in that direction. There are several there, this agenda, and it's worth taking a look.
Thank you, Commissioner Vogt. All right, Madam Clerk, are you ready? We're at bills by resolution.
Yes. Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Forest Park, Cook County, Illinois, that we dispense with the reading of the individual bills inasmuch as each department head has approved and signed bills in the following aggregate amount for their respective departments. Refunds and allocations, $5,540.67. Public Affairs, $5,443.96. Police Department, $9,311.75. Community Center, $8,262.29. Accounts and Finance, the Clerk's Office, $26,104.26. Accounts and Finance, Fire Department, $3,872.26. Department of Health and Safety, $8,842.49. Streets and Public Improvements, $70,714.85. Public Property, $36,176.23. Motor Fuel Tax, $1,914.87. Seizure, $12,690.52. Federal Customs, $437.64. TIF, $10,781. VIP, $73,945.59. Water Department, $937,908.48, for a total of $1,211,866.67.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, is there a resolution, is there a motion to adopt the resolution on the bills?
Yes, I'll make the motion.
All right, it's been moved by Commissioner Maxham. Is there a second? All right, so it's been moved and seconded. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
Okay, this is Resolution R 79-26.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, Commissioners, there is no unfinished business in front of the council this evening, so we're going to move down to new business. The first item is a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of a professional engineering services proposal for engineering and design for the water reservoir project. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Mellon Ragovan. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion? Commissioner Nero.
Sure. I just wanted to, yep, we definitely need additional potable water storage in town. I just want to go on record. I just think it's all this discussion and talk that we've had in recent weeks about the Altenheim shovel-ready buildable land in town that the village owns. I still think it's not the right idea to go ahead and put potable water storage there. It costs more money. It's further away from the pump station. I still think that the best solution is a parking lot, an underutilized parking lot. Whether it's, there's been talks of burying it, so who really cares? So taking the Altenheim that we're talking about, a development of some sort or a park or whatever the heck that's going to be, taking, a chunk of that land and putting potable water storage there is just not something I think is a good idea. That's all, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Nero. Any other comments? Questions? Okay, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is Resolution R 80-26.
All right, Commissioners, next item is a resolution approving invoice number 4, and this is for the Jackson Boulevard resurfacing project. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Mellon Ragovan. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion?
I just wanted to thank the residents along Jackson Boulevard for their patience and for all of the construction that's happening along Jackson Boulevard. This is the resurfacing, so things are moving along, and want to thank all the work that Sal and the folks are doing to coordinate this project to answer questions from residents and make it as easy as possible on the folks living in that area. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
This is Resolution R 81-26.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Commissioners, next item is a resolution authorizing the approval to pay request number 3 for the 2026 lead service replacement. And this payment goes to Five Star Energy Services LLC. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Mellon Ragovan. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion? Madam Clerk, there's no discussion.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
Okay, this is Resolution R 82-26.
All right, Commissioners, next item is a resolution approving pay request number 4 for the 2025 Green Alley Improvements Project. And this is to J. Narduli Construction Company. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's been moved by Commissioner Mellon Ragovan. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Commissioner Vogt. Discussion. All right, there's no discussion. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye.
Okay, this is Resolution R 83-26.
All right, Commissioners, the final item under new business for this evening is a motion seeking approval from some community center senior trip, a contract for a senior trip. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. It's moved by Commissioner Maxham. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Nero. Discussion. Okay, there's no discussion. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Hoskins.
Aye. Okay, we are at Commissioner reports. Commissioner Maxim.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to speak a little bit tonight about the incident that happened here with ICE at Village Hall. And I want to do it with care because I think there's a lot of nuance to this situation. And before I start, I also want to say that I think, and this is kind of basic common sense, but I think that multiple things can be true at the same time, even things that seem to be opposing. And I want us to be able to talk about different things simultaneously that maybe don't seem to fit together at the outset. And I want to thank, the public commenters here, and also the acknowledgement that the police here in town are by and large great and are doing a great job in this community. So I'm going to talk about a couple different things that I think are true. And the first is that it is true that some residents feel unsafe as a result of what happened. And I know that's true because there are people here tonight who have said it. There are people who've written letters in saying it. There are people who've reached out to me and said it. They said they don't feel safe. And if they say they don't feel safe, they don't, and that's true. And there's good reason why they don't feel safe. I think that we all have seen on, documented occasions, ICE using excessive force and even deadly force in situations, and that's really scary. And that's not something that I want around here. And people need to feel safe and they need to be safe, and both of those things are true at the same time. The other thing that's true is that I've heard a lot of people maligning our police department, especially the leadership, and I want to push back really hard against that because I don't think it's true that our police in general or our police leadership is doing a bad job or did a bad job. I think the situation that happened at Village Hall was very nuanced, and there was no perfect solution that could have happened. If someone comes in, they say they're being followed, they're being stalked. I don't know, if ICE agent was really scared or not. Was he? Probably not. He was probably trying to get away from these kids filming him, right? But if someone comes into a police department and says, I don't feel safe, right? The police have to do something. Another option would have been to allow some confrontation to happen in Village Hall, and I don't think that would have been a great solution either. I think ICE agents notoriously are bad at de-escalating situations, and I personally would want an ICE agent to be removed from a situation with two teenagers, because I think that's the recipe for a bad situation that I wouldn't want to see happen either. And I do believe in people filming what they want to film and putting out what they want to put out, but I think that would have been a situation that I wouldn't want to happen in Village Hall either. And I think what happened is that our officers made a judgment call in real time under real pressure. And without any guidance from us up here in advance of that on how to deal with something if it came up. And so if anyone's going to point fingers, then we need to point the fingers at ourselves too, because we didn't have anything in place. It wasn't the police and the leadership who didn't have it in place. It was all of us who didn't have something in place. And I want to make that really clear. I think it's kind of easy now that it's over, and we're worried about how we're going to look, and how we're going to be perceived to say, this person did a bad job, this person did a bad job. I'm not going to do that. I support many things at once, and I can do that because, like I said, lots of things can be true at the same time. It's true that I believe firmly in all our residents and their right to feel and to be safe. I love our residents. I love our community. I love immigrants. My parents were immigrants. I support that 100%. I also, at the same time, and without any qualifications, love our police department, not as an entity, not saying that because I want their support, saying it because it's true. As individual people, the ones that I know are amazing and they're great and they're doing a really good job. And both of those things are true. I think what could have happened better in this situation is from the get-go to sit down with police leadership, Mayor, and say, hey, this thing happened, and guess what? I'm not real happy with this, right? This is a bad look. It's a bad feel. People don't like this. Let's work together and stand together privately and publicly to address this and fix it and make it better. But I'm afraid that what's happened now is it's become kind of like us versus them, and that I feel like I'm being asked to choose. Do I support immigrants or do I support the police? Because it can't be both. But I'm not choosing. I'm supporting both, and I think that all of us should do that. I think that's what the hard decision is here, but that's the right decision. And like I said, I think multiple things that don't seem to be in line with each other can be true at the same time. But for me, they can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Maxim. Commissioner Nero.
Yes, sir. Well said, Maria. I didn't have a commission report, but I will say a couple of things in light of your comments. Sometimes when you sit here at the dais, or even as a resident of the community, you will hear comments that are very rarely do we hear public comment that really split the room 50-50. It's usually someone doesn't like something and everyone will show up against whatever that is. I will say it takes courage. It takes courage to say what you just said. And I think you articulated it well. It takes courage to stand up in front of folks that maybe feel very passionate about something or something that did or did not happen. This phrase ICE incident that occurred bothers me. There was no ICE incident in terms of the reports that I saw. I saw police acting in a way to protect and serve an individual that just happened to be an ICE agent. And I think that's what we forgot, right? I do support our chief of police, and I support our police department. And it breaks my heart that we rallied kind of a group of folks, and there's been some disparaging things that I don't agree with, said about the police department. And again, this is so unscripted, and it's kind of difficult, right? But I just think that you know, I think that our police department, they are the first people that we call when something's wrong. They're the first people that you call when, you know, when you need help. And we just, instead of maybe sitting back and perhaps collecting the facts, um, poor choice of words, maybe reacted and threw them under the bus a little bit. And, you know, being safe or unsafe, I understand that. I just wish that we could have maybe collectively came together as a community and kind of really talked about what had happened in its entirety before jumping to conclusions. You know, these are people's livelihoods. These are people's reputation. These are people's careers as elected officials. We're here today and maybe gone in 4 years and maybe 8 and maybe longer, but our term is 4 years. This is what these people do for a living. And I think we need to sit back and really think hard before we make comments and things that could quite easily affect their reputation and or their livelihood. End of my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Nero. Commissioner Belton-Govan.
I just want to share, I have a couple of highlights. I have engaged with village staff and with our police department, whom I respect, who I have worked directly with in my role as commissioner throughout my time in village life. And I have asked of them and have displayed the same respect for our first responders throughout my time in village life. And the first thing I decided when I joined as an elected official is that I was not going to second guess or second guess any decision, you know, really that an individual officer makes, but that I was going to take the opportunity to ask questions and seek clarification. And become more informed in my role as an elected official on behalf of myself, to become knowledgeable, and to work as partners with our first responders. Out of respect for them and the work that they do. One of the reasons I ran for office was because those same first responders, our police, our fire, came to my house and served me in my time of greatest need. And I reject categorically any notion that I do not respect or that by asking questions that I do not that I do not respect or care about them. In fact, I seek to support them in doing so. And it is when things are going well and that when things are that we have questions and concerns from the community that I seek to be helpful and facilitate communication and create clarity and understanding when I'm asking questions and I'm seeking information. And that is with the truest and honest of intentions. And that is what I have done throughout my time as commissioner, and that is what I will continue to do. And we may have different ways of doing that. And I understand that, but that is what my role and what I've sought to do as a commissioner. I'm going to shift gears. I want to congratulate all of our students who have returned back to school. I was proud to attend our back to school fair at our park district in the middle of August. I joined our mayor to welcome our students at the back to school fair with our school district and our teachers, and it was a joy to see our students coming back to school and welcoming them with our community organizations. I enjoy supporting our school district. I loved going to garage galleries. I want to congratulate the Forest Park Arts Alliance and the community residents who made the garage galleries a tremendously popular event. And I enjoyed attending Food Aid, which was on Madison Street on Friday and Saturday. And it raised money for our area food pantries. And I want to invite everyone to Celebrating Women's Leadership. It's a fundraiser for Sarah's Inn. It will be happening on Madison Street at Table and Lane on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Please join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Mellon McGovern. Commissioner Vogt.
Thank you. Okay, I have a lot to cover, so I'll try to be quick. Some of this you heard last week, but I'm just reminding anyone who wasn't here. The snowplow name submission form is open for 2 more weeks, so please get your suggestions in as soon as possible. The community cleanup is Saturday, September 12th, and the registration form is available on the village website and social media. And U3 is once again donating coffee to our volunteers, and we thank them for their continued support and for everything they do for our community. A couple of reminders, the casket races are on October 24th, and every year they host a dog costume parade. The Recreation Board has been presenting awards to their favorite dog costumes for the past few years while spreading the word about the dog park. So for anyone thinking about dressing up their pup on race day, be on the lookout for members of our rec board. You might win a best costume certificate and goodie bag. And then also for your calendars, the Pumpkin Smash is Saturday, November 7th at 10 a.m. We thank Jeff Bins-Kelvey for making the giant hammer and Amy for coming out of retirement from the rec board to help us on the day. And then the last thing I want to go over real quickly, this year's severe weather has been really hard on the community and on our trees. Forest Park has had several record-setting storms and rainfall. A robust urban forest is incredibly effective in helping to manage stormwater, but storms with the intense wind and lightning that we've witnessed recently can cause severe damage to trees and surrounding property. As you may know, over the past 6 or 7 years, the village has invested a tremendous amount of time and resources with the help of many grants to improve the overall health of our village-owned trees. Director Stella has closely followed the urban forest management plan as part of a multi-year plan to grow and strengthen our urban forest. But I must remind you, it takes a village. We have to work together to protect our investment in this precious resource. I know we have a lot of residents who care about and advocate for the environment, and I wanted to share a few effective things folks can do to protect the trees around them. First and foremost, it's essential for a tree's health and longevity to avoid attaching or hanging things on the tree. Installing and removing lights and swings and signs and using screws, nails, or hooks can damage bark and branches, making trees more vulnerable to disease and breakage. Tightly wrapping lights, ribbons, rope, etc. around a tree is also dangerous, especially if left for an extended period of time. Trees put on a ring of growth each year, and in less time than expected, a tree will grow wider. this can cause girdling, which chokes the tree's ability to safely grow by restricting water and nutrients from reaching their branches. If water and nutrients can't make it to the tree's branches, what happens? It also restricts their ability to respond to wind, which actually helps a tree grow stronger over time. Now, remember, for a shorter lifespan, because this could reduce the lifespan of a normally growing tree, that translates into more staff and vendor time spent servicing them, and drastically increases the risk of disease and damage to the tree, which often results in damage to surrounding property when dead or dying branches fall. If anyone would like to look at some resources on how to properly take care of their trees, please let me know. I'd be happy to share. I will say the Morton Arboretum is a great place to start. And also feel free to reach out to myself or Director Stella about how to work with the village when it comes to parkway trees and gardens. And then I will just say one thing. I think most of us all share a common goal, and that is to keep Forest Park safe. The Forest Park Police Department invests in creating and maintaining solid working relationships with the people in this community. I have personally witnessed on many occasions on-duty officers exhibiting professionalism, restraint, and kindness. It is a constantly evolving process, and I respect the work that they do in partnership with the community, but also we need to listen to the community. As elected officials, it's our duty to listen and protect them. I haven't heard anyone here or anyone that wrote in denying the humanity of federal employees or disparaging our police. But we're all human beings and we all make mistakes, every single one of us. And the important thing to do and the responsible thing to do is to understand that when missteps happen, we need to step back and evaluate those and figure out how to move forward. A lot of things can be true at once, but we have to also have the strength to say, I like you, and maybe this didn't go as it should have, and we're going to look into it and we're going to talk about it. It doesn't mean that anyone is disparaging anybody. It means that we're trying to better ourselves as a community.
Thank you, Commissioner Vogt. So, commissioners and residents, it has been a very busy week in Forest Park and throughout. The week before last, I was invited to welcome back the students at Proviso Math and Science Academy, which is within our borders. That was August 13th. And of course, there was a number of Forest Park residents whose children attend that school. So I enjoyed being with community members from Forest Park and from outside of Forest Park to celebrate back to school and wish the students a great start of the year. Had the same experience with District 91 on August 18th. I was invited to the middle school in the Field Stevens to see the parents, to see the kids, to see the teachers, and to see traditions continue and evolve. Many thanks to all the people who opened up their galleries, garage galleries. Certainly didn't make it to all of them, but I did make it to a few. Wanted to be supportive. I did not get to Madison Street for the Food Aid event, but I understand that Roberts West Side did really well with what they're doing in the community. So everyone who's working to improve Forest Park, to make it a stronger community, thank you for what you're doing. Last week, I had a member of the Regional Transit Authority who will also be serving on the NETA board as well as on the CTA board here in Forest Park. We visited with some of the firefighters. We looked in very detail at the infrastructure available to our firefighters, or would I say maybe the lack of infrastructure available to our firefighters. Like, no thank you, General Assembly, we can't take another ambulance because we don't have room for another ambulance. And so we articulated the challenges that our first responders face in the CTA, and this is part of an effort to obviously recoup our expenses responding to 7-Eleven Des Plaines these last 4 years, and that will continue. Our first meeting is September the 10th. And I'm trying to really make the case for Forest Park to be compensated for our investment in public safety. Having said that, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn into closed session, subject to 5 ILCS 120/2C2 regarding collective bargaining, as well as 5 ILCS 120/2C1 to discuss specific employees in the village. Is there a motion? Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Nero. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. I want to remind everyone that when we adjourn in the closed session, we will not be returning to open session this evening. So if you want to stay here, you'll be a little bit disappointed, but you're welcome to stay for maybe an hour. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Maxim, Commissioner Nero, Commissioner Mellon Ragovin,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt, Mayor Hoskins.
Aye, we are adjourned.
Number one in the country or something.